Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the core systems of the Unfallen Empire. I am Marcus Aurelius, and this is Endless Space 2, and we are, as I mentioned, the Unfallen, a race of giant tree people who are slowly colonizing the galaxy by putting out roots, from one system to another. And we're getting off to a pretty good start, actually. We're going to fight off some pirates here. Eventually. Alright, another decisive victory, and now we have the Koyasil Kinetics, which is a weapon module which is more effective than the typical kinetic weapons we have currently at this time. Mufasa, an aging second who would doubtless be dormant by now had the others not arrived, has come forward as the champion of tradition. Once a firekeeper, she is now a steady voice for calm and introspection. Her greatest foil is Atalata, who has raised his limbs under distant suns and met many other peoples. One argues for continuity, and the other for adaptation. One preaches adhering to customs, and the other insists on radical evaluation of government and society. The heart speaks to us, as she always has, our conscience and our guide. She is a voice within all Unfallen that is both God and counselor. As we share what we have learned of our cosmos, the words of the heart are clear. Our role is to understand the other and speak with the other. The passion of the heart is clear in this, for we have felt tremors in her that have never before been sensed, even in the memories of the oldest of the thirds. I wish I knew what all this meant, seconds, thirds. We must study other species as we have studied ourselves, for the heart will not accept anger and conflict when dialogue and harmony are possible. The heart accepts the needs for fire, but only for the fire that renews. The fire that destroys has no place among the Unfallen. Yet some speak of our new knowledge as something like the fire that destroys, for if we must adapt and grow and change, the oldest among us will be lost and left behind. What is the value of a third, who has lived centuries in an unchanging world and whose store of life wisdom becomes less and less valuable? These questions drive to the foundations of our civilization, and even the reassuring pulse of the heart does not soothe us. Alright, so we have two choices here, integrate or understand. Integrate means we have to increase the number of non-Unfallen populations in our empire to 14. We currently have 4, so this is going to take some time, although if we manage to get the Hisho in, that'll help. But that will give us the center of light and life, which gives us plus 10 science per different population type in a system. So that means, I believe, that if you just have Unfallen, you get plus 10. If you have Unfallen and Hiroshima, you get plus 20. And if you have, obviously, 5 different types of people, you get 50, etc. So that's one choice. Otherwise, we can understand, which means grow enough systems to level 2 or more so that there are 4 spaceports in the Empire. And that will give us harmony of the heart, which will do the same thing, except instead of science, it will give us happiness. Now, this is an easier task, I believe, for us to achieve, but this is not as valuable. Our people are generally pretty happy, and with technology, we'll be able to make them even more happy. So, I mean, once we get into a war or something, they might become unhappy, I'm not sure, but I personally feel like the science bonus is a much better deal, even though it's going to take us a while to get there. So, I'm going to go with this one. We might not see another quest for a while, but it is what it is. Alright. Let's move our fleet back to Akamar, now that they've done their duty. Wow, Andromeda is so nice. We need to colonize that.
Tell us what you plan.
Alright, they're back to threatening us.
Horatio feel content anytime we think of you. And your...
Thank you, Horatio. Alright. I could improve our ships. This will give... Well, the thing is we don't have very many strategic resources to waste on making our ships better. +1 population on sterile. That's pretty good. Gives you moon exploration. Plus 25 science on happy. That's really good. Do we have to build it, though? I think we have to build it. Yeah, an optic research lab. This will improve our curiosity detection and allow us to colonize deserts, which would help us in our home system. And we can terraform sterile planets. Although in this game, terraforming really isn't that useful. Like in Stellaris, terraforming is really useful because you have different population types and you can terraform planets to make them more happy on that population type. But in this game, each type of planet gives a different bonus. So like, why would you want to terraform an ash or a lava planet to a temperate planet, for example, a Terran planet, if you're trading production for food? In most cases, you'd rather have production. So even though theoretically the people of your empire would probably be much happier living on a Terran planet, there's no benefit to it. Like, you actually lose production out of the deal, which seems kind of useless. But anyway, we are going to go with armor because we already have the Koyasil kinetics. We should probably take a look at the Kraber ships and see what they have. They probably have armor and kinetics too, but we'll find out. I don't really think we have to worry too much at this moment about ground assaults. Huh. We'll start with N-Wave Fusion because it'll be fast, but then we're going to go to basic reactive plating, maybe, and a kinetic enhancer. That seems pretty useful. This will give us shielding and lasers, so we'll focus on kinetics for right now. Okay. And we're 2 turns away from our Vine ship. We're probably even closer to that to getting this place. So we might want to go down and get Forest real quick. Beat out Horatio for it. And let's explore one final anomaly. And excellent. Empire science production, my favorite thing in the world. And we'll go to Forest now. And it looks like they've managed to take control of Gikra. So we have to hurry if we're going to get Akamar. We probably won't unless we fight them for it. Uh-oh. Your Empire expenses on influence exceed your stocks. Alright. This is exceptionally good because it gives us 10% bonus to all FIDs. I guess we're going to get rid of Dirty Hands Act. Alright. We're still in the negative, though, which is no good. Yeah, I know. It had to be done. Oh, you know what? We forgot to rename Othero. I'll name it after my other favorite kind of tree. I don't know if it'll work. It might be too long. No, Ponderosa Pine.
Purpose is to kill.
Yeah, shut up.
You.
Ponderosa Pine. Very good. It shows up as Ponderosa P, but I guess I could just call it Pine, but we're going to run out of trees pretty soon if we go entire species of tree. Like, really, oak is... There's so many different types of oak. But, yeah, we'll have another pine somewhere else, like regular pine. We have another amoeba, which is good. That helps us toward our quest. Alright, Koyasil. Let's level 2 you really quick. And then... Enables unlock of new hero. Well, no. We still can't build these wonders because we lack the Hyperium. We'll see next turn what we're going to do with that. Okay, good. Oak is going to build... Spin Project. Just to get us some more influence because we certainly need it. We We seem to be growing relatively fast. 3 turns away from another growth. This is not really a science-y place, but... Well, no, you're right. This isn't a science-y place at all. We could level 2 this city, too. We really have that much deciduous trees? Alright. Why not? And redwood. Do we trade production for money? Yeah. Oh, you know what? Shoot, I didn't launch our ship. Come on. Marcus, you're better than this. At least he's moving fast. Lobbyists for your empire's banks. Really? Giant trees have banks? What are they, seed banks? Have been assailing your senators for weeks with demands to ease some of the regulations on their operations. Ooh, we could approve. We'll get more dust, which is good. But there's a 50% chance of creating a major economic crisis, and I am not going to allow that. So we're just going to have to deal with 10 turns of slight unhappiness. Alright, Koyasil. Plus 2 science per person on planets with anomalies. This is not an anomaly. This is an anomaly. We don't really have any. Well, we have metallic waters, but we don't actually own these planets. So this won't do anything for us. It'll just give us 1 science per person. Which is fine. It's just not amazing. And with the cravers getting all pissy, we might want to. In fact, let's do that in this episode. Well, let's wait till we're done researching that one more path. So we're going to 12 turns. We'll build a bunker. But then, when that's done, we'll improve our ships. Alright, looks like we have the black hole.
Horatio feel content anytime we think of you.
I don't know what they mean by a science agreement will be sent soon. Like, they don't send me one, I can't send them one. I honestly have no idea what they're talking about. Alright. Let's vine up Andromeda. Back to square one here. We did get 3C75. Can we get down to NGC 7089? Ooh, that's some good science, but we'd rather have forests right now. Alright, Oak. What are you up to? We could do science here. We've really nothing better to do. Do we have a production advancement yet? No, we don't. So, no purpose or no point in that. Okay. Every little bit helps. Collapsing star. Oh, we could probably use that. Wait, what did that say? No, too late. Alright, let's look at the anomalies of the one we're going to colonize first. Which will probably be the huge ash. Well, maybe the tiny arid, just because it'll give us more food and we can move on to the huge ash later, once we've grown. Ooh, good, some dust. And we're just going to hang out here until we get more probes. Yes, we'll analyze it. We'll take a temporary detriment to science in order to get increased scientist ideology and another technology. Totally. Alright, you're just going to hang out here, actually, so, yep. And you guys are going to do the same thing. Now, if you're wondering, Marcus, why aren't you just producing a lot more vine ships? Because, again, you can only connect to a system that has the kind of blue tendrils already around it. So as you can see here, for example, Hath does not have the blue tendrils. So even if I had another vine ship, I wouldn't be able to actually colonize the planet. That's why you kind of want to expand in multiple directions at once. This one has subtle blue tendrils. Maybe we could send a vine ship here, but it's not that big a deal. Alright. Normally, I'd go with, well, 2 per person. 10 plus 2 per hero level. So this one will start off, I think, a little bit better for us. More Unfallen. Alright, Koyasil. Alright, so we're going to go to manage our fleets. We're going to take a look at the well first. Okay, so what the well has is it has 2 defense modules, 2 support modules, and 1 weapon module. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to upgrade the basic high slugs with the Koyasil kinetics. That'll improve it from... where is it? Oh, we're not showing obsolete modules anymore. But anyways, it'll improve it from 6 damage per second with 5 anti-missile efficiency to 13 damage per second, a 10% critical hit chance, and a 6 anti-missile efficiency. So that's already a huge deal. So now with regards to defense. I think these are defense. Yeah, these are both defense. Okay. So we have high plating, which gives us a health and projectile bonus, or we have plasmal shielding. I guess we haven't done our research yet, have we? I sure want to exit. Yeah, I want to exit. I guess we're not there yet. I thought we were there. No, we're one turn away. So we'll just wait for that. We I guess we won't build anything here. Just 1 turn. It's kind of a waste, but it is what it is. Redwood, though, will build something. Farms. Alright, a new population collection bonus. We now achieved plus 15% influence. That is great, because we desperately need that. We desperately need that. And apparently we completed this. Alright, so we get some influence from that. Unnatural Wastelands, an undercover documentary. A tree documentary? A barkumentary? Concerning a makeshift... I'm sorry, folks. I really am to do this to you. Who live in one of your planet's biggest refuse facilities. What refuse do trees produce? Has become a loaded political issue. Many are scraping a living in the system's dumps, scavenging for recycled materials while setting up their homes in the very same places. See, this makes tons of sense for humans. It does not make sense for a bunch of sentient trees who live in this beautiful garden planet, but whatever. So I either shut it down, which improves happiness but lowers industry and improves ecologist political ideology, or I make my people unhappy, but I get better industry, which is what I'm going to do. But I got to keep an eye on my happiness here, because I have 2 negative happiness effects. Out of the blue, literally, a new minor faction has abruptly moved onto one of your planets, and have no intention of leaving anytime soon. Whether they are friendly or not is yet to be discovered, but hopefully their intrusion won't be for long. Okay, well, welcome, Calgaros. Thank you for helping us solve our quest. Alright, this is done. So now we have a lot of options here. This would be useful. Pulvis production. It'll give us reductions to ship and construction buyouts and more dust. And we can also get mercenaries in the marketplace. Neurorobotics will give us plus 5 happiness per luxury deposit. That'll help us a lot, actually. Industrial specialization. Yes. There we go. We'll do that right now. Ah, yes, Koyasil. Back to what we were planning on doing before. Alright, well 2. Let's edit. Alright. Koyasil kinetic. Well, we have improved plasma beam. But we don't have the, we don't have any Hyperium? Damn. This is a pretty good beam. 43 damage per second. Oh, but it's only optimal at short range. Right. So we're going to go with Koyasil kinetics. For the armor, we're going to go with the... I guess we didn't get better armor. I thought we did. Basic reactive plating. Do I want a basic shield? It really depends on what the Kraber's using. I guess for right now, we'll go kind of... We'll touch both bases, just in case they do have lasers. Now, support is where these ships shine, because they're focused on support. And we have a lot of options here. Unfortunately, we can't use the Hyperion ones, because we don't have any of that. But this one's good, because it'll give us dust for every ship that we destroy. This will improve our damage of projectiles. For just this ship, or for the entire fleet, though? It has to be for the entire fleet. You would expect. Maybe not, though. I don't know. Repair ship after battle. Warp drive. Movement points. Actually, we need a warp drive. We have to be able to move. So I guess the question is, do I want the health bonus? Or do I want the science or dust? Those were our only two real options. This will improve the projectile damage of this one ship, but that's probably better on our more attack-oriented ships. This is more of a defense-oriented ship, which means a health bonus and repair would actually help, because these ships are the ones that take the damage first. Before our attack ships take damage, these ships do. So there's a lot to choose from here. Because right now, surviving fights is really our big issue, we're going to go with the repair. Yeah, that makes sense. So right now this guy moves at 5 movement speed. Alright, so now we'll go to the needle and do the same thing. Alright, so we know our armor is no better. Well, I guess we'll split the difference with these guys too and put some shield there. Now, see, these guys only have one support module, which really sucks, because you definitely want to put this, which will improve projectile damage, but they have to be able to move, right? They can't, I mean, it'll slow down the entire fleet if these guys don't have a warp drive. So now we have some choices. We're just going to go with 2 Koyasil kinetics. I mean, I guess we could go with ion torpedoes, but they don't do as much damage. They're not as versatile. They're only medium and long, whereas this is all 3. Yeah, we don't have much to go with right now, but this is what we'll go with. Okay. Excellent. So we're going to make more of those. A well 3. Oops. And 3 needle 3s. What looked like a huge asteroid approaching one of your system's stars turned out to be a fragment of an ancient planet that burst ages ago. What makes it different are the remains of strange alien structures on it. What will you do before the planetary fragment flames into the sun? Well, we could get one technology. We can exploit it for dust and influence, which we need, but I much prefer happiness and science, because this will negate the happiness penalties that I'm currently suffering from other events, and it will give us more science, which is what I am all about. We're very studious trees. Alright. We need to get hospitability for lava planets too. That's a big thing for us. I guess bunkers for right now, but that's really all we need. I guess we could build the academy here. Redwood. People are ecstatic, so we don't really need the infinite supermarkets. We probably could use the level 2 modernization. Then some xenotourism. Interesting. So you guys are my ally, apparently. Which is cool. Looks like we don't, however, have a trade route. Why is Hath our enemy? They love us. Yeah, they're big on us. In fact, we should probably get them even bigger on us. Okay. Oak. Yes, now that we have the bunkers, what do we do? I guess the academy is what we said. Ponderosa Pine. I guess we should colonize Begelli. And then take us up to level 2. Well, finally, man, we're just waiting so long for this Hyperium. Wow, the militarists are edging out the scientists. I'm doing everything I can to make the scientists more powerful. You know, that's another thing about this game that's frustrating, though, sometimes, is that no matter what type of nation you're playing, whether you're a pacifist nation or you're warlike, whatever, you need to build ships, right? Every nation has to build ships, because if they don't, they're going to get beaten by another nation. But the sheer act of building a ship increases the militarization, or the faction, the militarization faction, which, so eventually, no matter what empire you're playing, even if you're playing the most peaceful, pacifistic empire, you're going to need fleets, and by building those fleets, you become a militaristic empire. So what I'm trying to say is the game mechanics lead you toward being militaristic no matter what path you choose, because the only way to not be militaristic is to not ever build ships, and you cannot survive not building ships. Every single empire needs to build ships. So I kind of don't like how building military ships improves the militaristic faction. Like, I can't think of a better way to do it, but it leads to the militaristic faction always dominating in every campaign, no matter what nation you're playing. Alright, we got some more Unfallen. Okay. Actually, I should have been exploring this place. That's what I should have been doing. Alright. +2 resource generation on strategic resources. Or negative 10% on system development luxury cost. Let's save them.
Horatio has an eternal task to beautify the galaxy. Perhaps this helps you understand our actions.
Wait. Are you declaring war on us now, Horatio? No, we're still at peace. We are stronger than you. Well, I am building more ships. Okay, Redwood. Fertile, planet, temperate. So we do have temperate here. Let's actually explore the anomalies first. Alright. I guess production and then dust. So I guess we should get a fleet down to Ponderosa Pine as soon as possible to defend it from whatever Horatio has planned. And we found more deciduous trees. Dust siduous. Good.
Tell us what you plan.
Oh, okay. So it looks like we need to build more ships, because everyone's starting to get a little threatening with us. Koyasil. More ships, I guess. Well, I keep doing vine ships. Needle, needle, needle. Okay, let's create that fleet, and let's get it down to Ponderosa Pine. But you see what I'm saying? So we have to produce fleets to defend ourselves, but by so doing, we are improving the militaristic faction of our empire. Fertile, planet, temperate. Yeah, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do the big data shipyards, because we are going to turn Redwood into a fleet production facility as well. In 20 turns, own the system producing the most food in the galaxy. We're currently ranked 2nd. I mean, I could do this. Our race is uniquely suited for it. But I don't want to, and I don't need to. Because the 500 dust I get from it is just going to be lost by all the upkeep of all the farm buildings. We have another Calgero. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's the end of this episode. So here's where we're at. We're currently wrapping our vines around Forus and Andromeda. Then we're going to try to get Hath and Edisir. And then Akamar. That's kind of our goal here. Actually, let's fight the Cravers before we end the episode. This is just a scavenger ship, but still, because they've been threatening to us, it just makes me feel good to kill them. And we have a fleet coming down here to guard Ponderosa Pine from the depredations of Horatio. He has 10, 7, 5. We have 8, 9, 11. Oak is doing really good. And Andromeda is going to be great for us too, with 3 already colonizable planets, 6 in Ponderosa Pine. Koyasil, we just need lava. Once we get lava colonization, we can grow that place pretty easily. Redwood, we have another planet we can move to. So at this point of the game, I think we've done all the exploration that we can. I think our goal is simply to now consolidate, build up our infrastructure, and I was hoping we could stay peaceful with Horatio, but maybe my getting too close to them kind of riled them up because they're starting to get a little pissy with me. I'm pretty sure we might be able to take down the Cravers as long as I just keep pumping out fleets. But who knows? They could have like 5 star systems over here for all I know. But that's our plan. So we're gonna have to go full military, which is gonna be weird because this pacifistic tree people nation is going to have a very powerful militarist faction, which is going to be very interesting, but it'll be fun to see. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am Marcus Aurelius. This is Endless Space 2 by Amplitude Studios. We are the Unfallen, and I am going to make like a tree and leave. Have a good one.